Ladies and gentlemen, One Punch Man Season 3 official trailer has apparently dropped a day ago from Viz. But then I looked at it, and I'm like, wait. We had this 2 months ago. What the hell is going on? And remember, there's also this trailer. Remember this one from like a year ago where there was like JC Staff decided to put out a trailer with Garo just kind of popping off, which gave us a lot of hope. Looks like Viz has just re-uploaded the trailer from a while ago and just kind of coining it as the official one, which is kind of worrisome. But don't worry, we're not going to react to this one again because we've already seen it. For anyone who hasn't already heard, this is just a teaser and was only animated by one person. Don't feel too worried yet, meaning you don't know what the actual quality is going to be. It's going to be a coin toss, right? It's an official trailer made by one man, so we have to wait another 5 years for the pre-official trailer. I don't know about that. Aren't they literally slating One Punch Man to be going this or next year? And now we have some news to check out, right? We got a video called One Punch Man Season 3 will get TBATE animation from Chibi. Let's see what's going on.
This video is going to age like fine wine, or it's going to age like milk. And I personally hope it ages like milk because, honestly, I want nothing but success and victory for One Punch Man.
Me too.
But after, you know, the recent stuff with One Punch Man, all the news that's came out, or the lack of news, it has really made my overall expectations for Season 3 rock bottom. And
Absolutely. If you look at One Punch Man Season 3 release date, don't they have this kind of like slated for like fall 2025? Like, are you fucking kidding me? We don't even have an official list set yet, right? Like, we have no clue who the hell. Like, we know the studio. The studio is JC Staff, but like, what's the actual like production staff? Because so far it's very, very empty. There has been no new news coming out, and every day that passes, people are wondering what the fuck are they doing with this. This tweet, by the way, is from Yusuke Murata. He is the godlike author who basically took the, you know, the webcomic, right, from One Punch Man. The original source is from One and basically redrew it, and that's why you have this godlike manga.
really hope that in a few months from now, like 4 months from now, when, you know, One Punch Man Season 3 airs, people could come back to this video and be like, see, Chibi, you were worried for nothing. See, Chibi, it actually is good. See, Chibi, you know, it actually, you know, the video did age like milk.
Yeah, I hope it does. But again, like, this is just straight up clickbait, right? I mean, hey, everybody clickbaits. There is 0% chance One Punch Man Season 3 will get TBATE animation. The fact that it's already in JC Staff's hands, and the fact that, like, even if JC Staff's worst priority team worked on One Punch Man Season 3, it would still be better in TBATE. That is an impossible challenge to meet. Anything is better in TBATE.
Hope I see those comments in 4 months. I really hope I do, because it looks like this video is going to age like wine. That's at least my expectation. So let's get right into it and why this video is being made in the first place. So this is news that came out earlier this morning from Murata himself, basically saying that the manga of One Punch Man is going to be going on a hiatus for about 2 months. It is set to return in July of 17th, and that's, you know, not that long, honestly. 2 months, it might seem like a lot, but it's really not in the grand.
And I think that this would be good news, right? Not necessarily for manga enjoyers who want a new chapter, but for potentially Murata to be working on the anime itself. Maybe there's potential for that.
Scheme of things, but it basically is going on hiatus. And when I saw this news this morning, it instantly made me think about the current state of One Punch Man and the anime and the lack of news that we have gotten around it, and also maybe why this is happening to begin with. So let's get right into that one. So at this point in time, the last information or update we got on the One Punch Man anime for Season 3, from my knowledge, is this trailer that came out 2 months ago.
It looked okay. Nothing insane, but also apparently it's also been just by one person, and this is not an indicator of what the final quality of the product will be. So it's a coin toss. Is it going to be better than this, or is it going to be worse than this? Nobody really knows.
And there's been a lot of people that have, you know, analyzed this, talked about it, and even showcased that there was a lot of, you know, cutting of corners within this PV trailer. Like, for a good example, like, for instance, you see Dark Shine here in the back. If you look at his overall, you know, model, how he looks in this trailer, and you kind of fast forward a little bit, you will see that they literally add him back into the trailer, but they just flip his actual model. So they literally flip the image and put him in the background.
Now that's efficient, baby. Now that is optimal.
Once again, and this doesn't really give any form of confidence to the quality of the anime when they're having to literally flip a character design within their own PV trailer, which is meant to hype up things, which is meant to hype up people's expectations.
I don't think having the same model, a different model of Darkshine in a scene where he literally just stands there is going to mean that the anime is going to be bad. I know what Chibi's trying to say, but like, is it that big of a deal? Straight up. I think it's actually efficient and smart to reuse the same model and place it there. Yeah, it's lazy, but if you really think about it, is he moving? Not really, right? And on top of that, again, the context of this trailer is it was done by one person, and this one person, who the fuck even knows if this guy's gonna be working on the final project, right? So you gotta really think about these things and really think, does these criticisms for the trailer really matter? At the end of the day, this has no impact on the future of the anime. Maybe it shows signs of how much they're putting effort into the project for sure, right? The fact that they're reusing it kind of hints that, oh, they're being lazy with the project and there's no new news coming about the project. So we're kind of worried about that. But to me, I feel like this is quite trivial.
For the anime that is set to air. And the time of when this actually released, basically, we found out that One Punch Man was going to be airing in 6 to 7 months. And as you know, One Punch Man Season 3 is set to air this upcoming October, which literally says on my anime list. And if you scroll down and you go even further, the actual news gets a little bit darker. There's still, to this very day,
no real staff.
There is no announcement who is directing this season. We don't have the staff listing yet. Now, this can easily be fixed maybe when Anime Expo happens in a few months from now, which, funny enough, happens around the same time that Murata, you know, this thing right here, where Murata is going to be coming back from hiatus. So, most likely, there's definitely some correlation there.
Conspiracy schizo theories. They are going on hiatus. And even like One, right? The original source author, isn't he on also hiatus right now? I don't know what they're doing, but could one maybe assume that they are behind the scenes planning on working on the projects to give an overall good pitch, a presentation during this expo, which happens to align with the same time of when the hiatus is, you know, basically finished?
With Anime Expo, probably the anime in that. I could be wrong, maybe I'm looking too deep into that one, but the point of the matter is that, the overall staff listing and announcement could happen probably this upcoming July when Anime Expo happens, but it's still pretty concerning because usually at this time, you kind of already have a good idea of who's going to be working on the project at least.
Exactly right. If you still don't have these things presented publicly, option A, they're fucked. They got no clue what they're doing. Everything is going wrong in scheduling, and they're rushing to basically deliver a minimum viable product, which is a bad sign. The quality anime is going to be botched. There's not enough scheduling or care put into it. Option B, they have been secretly planning everything from behind the scenes to create marketing hype by causing volatility and uncertainty in the anime community. I don't know why they would do this, but let's just think about the 0.01% conspiracy theory. Everything has already been planned, everything is good, and they're going to drop a bombshell news during Anime Expo, and they're going to prove to all the haters of JC staff in One Punch Man Season 2 that Season 3 will be a masterpiece. Now, how likely is option B? Probably not likely, right? Probably not the case if we know anything about the Japanese animation industry. It is just filled with scheduling, you know, faults, resources not allocated properly. Like, this is not, for example, Lord of the Mysteries, where they're already done with Season 1 before there's even, like, Season 1 airing. They're already talking about Season 2 stuff. They've already confirmed multiple seasons happening. You know, there's plenty of marketing and hype that's been done throughout years leading up to, you know, summer 2025. That gives me good confidence. Those are great symptoms to have. This, we are coping out of our mind.
Least a director, you least usually have something like that, but the fact that we still don't have really any names associated with it besides the obvious is concerning. At least to me. I could be, once again, a little bit too over concerned, but that
no, I don't think he's over concerned. I think this is very fair. I think that this is the right amount of concerning that we should be doing.
That is not normal. It is definitely not normal. As someone that's seen a lot of, like, anime announcements for all these years, it is definitely not a normal circumstance to literally have, at this point in time, with only 4 months remaining until this airs, literally no staff listing. That's
Personally, I hope that this shit gets delayed. I hope that they just take the L and say, listen, we want to give you the best project possible, but it's just not possible with this current time constraint. Things are going to be better. We promise to come back in, I don't know, 2026, 2027 with the better news and deliver a better season. Because, like, I'm not going to lose sleep of One Punch Man Season 3 not coming out this fall. Maybe some people, some children are going to be upset, but time will pass. I would much rather them wait, delay, and give us a polished product than rush something so that everyone can just clown on it again, right? Like, there's so many anime coming out every other month. There is too much, in my opinion. Just take your fucking time and deliver a good anime rather than rushing it.
That's just, yeah, scary. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. So, one thing I want to point out about this PV trailer is that it is very, very rough. Like, it is absolutely just very basic, simplistic. It legitimately barely has any movement. It's pretty much still frames, lip flaps, and PNG movement.
TBATE style, baby.
That legitimately is concerning, especially when you think about what the project is. For instance, when you think about what One Punch...
Yeah, and I think that what Chibi's saying is right, because again, the context of this trailer is it's done by one person. And again, this is not really an indication of what the final product is going to be. But if you think about, why did only one person work on this? Did one person simply want the pride and the, you know, like, I don't know, some sort of clout for being like, yeah, I worked on One Punch Man Season 3 trailer from JC stuff? I don't know. Does it make sense that maybe they're so fucked in the scheduling that they could only have one person working on it? The more you think about this and explore this thought process, the more you realize the environment that's been structured over at the studio working on this specific project, maybe it really is that scuffed, and that's why they only needed one person to do it.
Punch Man is in general. It is a series that requires a lot of movement, a lot of artistic skill, and it requires a really strong animation team, or just a staff in general. It requires all hands on.
Yeah, they probably have to just put out something for marketing. They're probably like, yo, people are demanding stuff, you know, so much time has passed and we haven't, you know, had any hype marketing. And they probably force one person to just kind of deliver a very simple rough draft is what I could definitely, you know, conclude.
To really make a high quality product. And as we all saw from when Season 2 released from JC staff, you know, going back in time a little bit, we all saw how people's reactions to Season 2 of One Punch Man was.
Which is overblown. If you are still the same mindset that JC staff ruined One Punch Man Season 2, I think that you are being very disingenuous and you actually don't know what you're talking about. To me personally, though, because I haven't seen both Season 1 and Season 2 of the anime because I'm a manga reader, I can't really conclude. But the popular narrative, again, is people are spoiled with the love letter that was done with Season 1. The industry's greats came together to deliver such greatness. No shot JC staff could have ever compete with that. But what they put out in Season 2, it wasn't as bad as people say. And they get just so much, like, biased hate towards it from people who don't even know objectively how to analyze production value, because it's popular to hate on it.
It was not met with really good high expectations. People did not like it as much as they liked Season 1, and the reason for that is because there was just never any way that Season 2 was going to be as good as Season 1 was.
Impossible.
But the thing is it still had movement. Looking back at it, going back to previous episodes, Season 2 isn't fundamentally horrible. It isn't.
Okay.
Obviously, it's not as good as Season 1, but it's not a horrible season. And so, when you factor in that it's going to be the same exact studio working on Season 3, and JC staff is very well known and notorious for having too many projects back to back and not being able to, you know, actually manage properly with production and everything.
Are they unable to manage everything, production and everything? Because again, I know that they juggle a lot of different animes, but recently, and as a seasonal anime warlord, I literally consume so much anime. I've pretty much seen like 3 JC staff animes in one season before. Back then, it was like Danmachi and Mao 2099 and Do Over Damsel. And there's clearly an order of priority put into Danmachi. The best of the best is there. Then there's Mao 2099, which I think is more like, you know, the tier below that. And then the tier below that is Do Over Damsel. And judging by what I've seen, they clearly know how to balance it such that, yeah, low budget priority project like Do Over Damsel, it's going to look scuffed, but it's not going to be terrible. And more like, you know, medium to high level of priority like Mao 2099, I think the quality is better than like 90% of the other animes coming on a seasonal basis. And then the best of the best, they go all out. Like if you've seen Railgun or Danmachi, you would know how much quality JC Staff can pump out. So I don't really know enough of JC Staff's history back in the past, right? Other than the last like 2 years or so of what their track record has been. But recently, I think it's very positive.
It's looking like One Punch Man is a sinking ship. It's looking like it's a ship that is literally on lifeboats, and it is going to just crash and burn soon as it releases. There might be some few good moments and all that, but it looks like for the majority of it, it's going to be a very soulless or lifeless husk of what it theoretically could be. That's at least my impressions thus far. And so yeah, that's the reason why I'm making this video. I'm just like, I was thinking about the news today. I was like, we have literally only 4 months until the anime airs. And we have literally next to really nothing about this. We don't really know much about, like, who is going to be a part of the staff or anything. And the fact that we have something like this, it's just like, why? Why are we, like, getting this type of trailer? Why do we not have a really good trailer? You know, like I said, I hope this video ages like milk. Please let this video age like milk. I really, really hope that, you know, I see comments a few months from now, people say, nah, Chibi, you were dead wrong. Please let that be a thing. I have never wanted to be so wrong in my entire life than now, because I want One Punch Man Season 3 to be good. I don't want it to be bad, because it could easily be one of the best shows of this year if given a good anime.
Maybe.
But I'll leave it at that.
Let's check out some of the comments. Let's go back. Hold up. God damn it. Go back. Animators about to make Saitama do another 3 years of training session. Season 3 does get to be an animation. The community is going to go insane, and there is a 0% chance JC Staff will put out something so bad that it's going to be TBATE animation. Straight up. Their worst team could be working on it. It's going to be better in TBATE. Oh goodness, Chibi's please say anything so brother. Well, Murata just finished his second redrawing of the current arc of the manga, so it makes sense it will be on hiatus. We found one thing that Saitama can't beat, crappy animation. One frame man? I don't know about that. Munata's tweet had nothing to do with Season 3 and the Anime Expo that will be held July 3 to 6. He's simply taking a break to prepare for a new arc, as he did after the end of the Monsters Association arc, which is very unfortunate, right? If this is true from random comments online, and who knows how credible they are, if there's nothing with Murata working on the anime project, then goddamn, that is very unfortunate for the anime specifically. As for the anime itself, Season 3 has already been confirmed at Anime Expo, where we will most likely get a real trailer with the cast and footage from the anime. So we'll just have to wait until July to see what's actually going to go down. Anything else? There was also the very first trailer, a teaser for Garo. The animation looked good, yeah. And the teaser we're talking about, right, is not this one, but this one, right? The Garo fight here was pretty good. I think this is done by the JC Staff director, the GOAT, who kind of got in quote-unquote drama on Twitter for, you know, criticizing the Chinese 18-year-old kid that worked on Supercube, right? And they said, you know, kind of it was like what's it called? It's a shame of how there's like lacking soul and direction in the animation happening. The guy who was covering the copying, like the director who's famously known for the Utapon cubes, but I don't know, man. At the end of the day, all we gotta do is just hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. And when July comes and the expo actually drops, maybe they'll drop a new trailer. The fact that Viz Media re-uploaded this trailer, though, saying it's an official trailer, is a bit concerning. Maybe they're just farming just like me, but we'll really have to see. We'll have to really just wait and see what's gonna happen. Please go check out Chibi's channel. Here is the link to the video. Give it a like and check out his channel for other content, and I'll see you guys next time.